Hello everyone, welcome back to our Japan Private Tour channel. And now I'm here at one of our most exquisite or most beautiful hotel in Tokyo, Hotel Gajo in Tokyo. And today I'm with Mami-san and she's gonna take me around to see this wonderful hotel. So let's get going. Once you enter Hotel Gajo in Tokyo, you instantly notice the extravagance and prestige. The polished entrance hall contains the original signboard of Meguro Gajoen at the time of its founding, enticing you in to explore. As the area of the complex is so large, Hosokawa Rikizo, who built the original Gajoen, was worried that visitors would get bored walking around. Therefore, he commissioned around 5,000 pieces of art, which were integrated throughout the halls and buildings. Of those, around 2,500 pieces can still be seen here. Look out for antique features such as ornately carved wooden panels and Japanese lacquer work. Originally opened in 1928 as a dining and entertainment complex, Gajoen became known as a palace of the dragon god, as it had cuisine, hospitality, and surroundings so unworldly. Today, the original retreat has been carefully transformed into a boutique hotel immersed in omotenashi hospitality that continues to welcome global travelers to Tokyo and remains a popular wedding venue for affluent couples. Be sure to enjoy some time in the property's outdoor lobby, containing a lovely koi pond and an impressive view of greenery growing all around. The waterfall and stools hewn from rock with red parasols complement the area perfectly and allow you to relax on sunny days. Take the path to discover hidden parts of the garden, in particular the lookout behind the waterfall to give you a sensational view. Even the public washroom was built for royalty, as the founder wanted guests to experience art even in their most solitary private moments. There are not many washroom facilities in the world that feature a running stream, bridge, and walls that are so artistically decorated. The only part of the original Gajoen still standing is Hyakudan Kaidan, which has now become its own museum. The wooden set of stairs leads to 7 separate rooms with tatami flooring, decorated by Japan's most famous artists from the late 1920s who would stay in the room. They decorate until their artwork was finished. Each room has seasonal displays of Japanese artwork and historical artifacts. Firstly, we have the Jippo room, named after master painter Araki Jippo, whose painted works decorate the room. The lattice-like framework is known as a coffered ceiling, and you will find that the sections of lattice have been delicately decorated in metal fittings with enamel flowers created using a technique called cloisonne, or shippoyaki in Japanese. Shippoyaki works were not often seen on display in Japan at the time of Gajoen's creation. However, the ceiling of this chamber is decorated with more than 750 such items. One other feature of this chamber is that, like much of the hotel, mother of pearl work can be seen in the ceiling beams and other structural elements of the room. In 2009, the Hyakudan Kaidan was designated as a Tokyo Metropolitan Area Designated Tangible Cultural Property. In the Gyosho room, you'll find carvings throughout on the pillars, walls, and ceilings. Many of the chambers leading off the Hyakudan Kaidan are named after the artists that have been involved in the appearance, but this chamber is given its name from a famous Chinese theme called The Dialogue of the Fisherman and the Woodcutter. The left-hand pillar depicts the fisherman, while the right-hand pillar represents the woodcutter. Every element of each sculpture contrasts an element of another. For example, the river and the mountain, spring against autumn, the sitting fisherman versus the standing woodcutter. All of the sculptures in this chamber were carved by sculptor Hore Sakari and inspired by paintings by Chikuha Otake.
Well, this place is really beautiful.
ありがとうございます。
So, what is this building called?
はい、こちらはですね、百段階段というふうに申しまして、当時料亭だったんですが、こういった各お部屋でですね、お食事を楽しんだり、結婚式をですね、行ったりした場所でした。
Oh, so why is it called Hyakudan Kaidan? Is it like literally means 100 steps?
そうですね。本当に百段階段と言いますと、百段階段があるというふうに思われると思うんですが、
はい、
実際のところは99段しかなくてですね、
はい、
その意味はですね、あえて1を引くというところで、日本人の謙虚さを表したりですとか、あと100という数字は完璧という意味もありますので、あえて1段減らすことで、将来の可能性ですとか、そういったところを、期待するという意味も込めて、99段しか実はないですね。はい。
Wow. And then as we can see, there's so many flower patterns on the ceiling. And like, is this something like a story on the walls?
そうですね。こちら、欄間に描かれている絵なんですけれども、日本でいう五節句を表した絵になってまして、3月3日の七夕の日であったりとか、
Oh, this one.
そうですね。こちらは7月7日の七夕の日、そういったものを記していますね。なかなか珍しいと思います。
But the colors are original, or do you repaint every once in a while?
そうですね。こちら極彩色と言いまして、割と華やかな色が使われているんですが、今もですね、こちらはメンテナンスでですね、定期的に色のリタッチというのはしています。
But of course, keeping it at the original color.
そうですね。はい。
Oh, it's really beautiful. And then I just realized that this pillars, the columns behind us, is made from one block of wood, is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
そうですね。こちらは大きな一本の床柱にですね、彫って物語を作っております。これは魚章文像という中国のお話の一節をですね、この大きな木の柱に彫り込んでいますね。
So pretty.
非常に珍しいかもしれないですね。
From the Sokyu room, Mount Fuji is visible when the weather is clear, and it is very popular for afternoon gatherings. The work here is by artist Sokyo Isobe. This chamber was originally separated into a front chamber and a main chamber, and the paintings on the panels in the two chambers differed. Close-up views make up the paintings in the front chamber, and distant views were shown in the main chamber. The wall of the former front chamber is painted with a thick pine tree at the heart of a waterfront scene. The powerful brushstrokes used to express the branches of the pine tree are said to have been characteristic of works by Sokyu. The countryside and seaside landscapes in the main chamber create a panoramic feel, which also show the passing of a year. Starting from the rich green fields and paddies, moving on to the rice harvest of autumn, and finally, the snow-covered ground in winter. Looking up at the ceiling, you will notice that the paintings in the front chamber and the main chamber were made with differing themes. Both sides were built in the lattice-like coffered ceiling style, but in the front chamber, we find flowers, while in the main chamber, we find birds with fantastic attention to detail. At the top of the 99 stairs, you will find the summit room. This chamber was originally planned to be decorated in the work of Go Nishimura, one of the masters in Kyoto art world. But he sadly passed away before he could begin his work, and the plan could not be brought to fruition. In the end, the paintings on the ceiling were completed by a number of painters who studied under famed painter Ryushi Kawabata. These magnificent rooms and their Hyakudan Kaidan are accessible during exhibitions, the most famous being the Wano Akari exhibition, an illumination art exhibition held between July and September every year. Unfortunately, this exhibition has been cancelled this year due to the coronavirus. Here we find ourselves in the foyer of Hotel Gajo in Tokyo's 4th floor banquet area. Similar to the rest of the hotel, beautiful art covers the wall and ceiling in an incredible feast for the eyes and imagination. Yoga is held every Wednesday and Saturday morning in this sensational room, a quite unique setting for yoga. With each asana, no matter what angle you face, there will be an inspiring view to take in. You'll also find other activities available to guests at the hotel, such as an art tour within the premises of this incredible venue. As you move on, you'll find yourselves in rooms that are just as beautifully decorated. These rooms are the magnificent stage for a whole host of stage spectacular banquets and private meetings. Gajoin houses 7 restaurants, all of fantastic quality. Shunyuki is the property's main dining room, serving healthy, high-end Chinese cuisine. For a decorative experience, we recommend one of the private dining rooms shown where the tables are in true Gajoin style, lacquerware rotating stands with mother-of-pearl inlay. Located next to the delightful Japanese garden, you'll find Hotel Gajoin's signature Japanese restaurant, Tohute. accommodated in a thatched roof structure. The restaurant contains a series of stunning private rooms with traditional designs and tatami floors. You'll find here that the courses or kaiseki meals, which are traditional multi-course Japanese meals, are long established and change seasonally and feature sashimi, tempura, and an array of fresh produce. You'll find 60 luxurious rooms, all suite rooms within the hotel. Each room is spacious, sized between 80 to 240 square meters, and it has its own private steam sauna and whirlpool bath. If you are staying at the Ambassador Suite, don't forget to look out for Mount Fuji on a clear day. The authentic Japanese rooms have tatami flooring, demonstrating the appearance of a ryokan. With beautiful artworks and decor, these are the most traditionally styled rooms within the hotel and a rarity in Tokyo. In the case of this room, with 120 square meters of space, included are the previously mentioned Japanese-style whirlpool baths and steam saunas, along with high-speed Wi-Fi access and climate control. So we're at one of the Japanese suites, and I believe this is the biggest Japanese suite in the hotel.
そうですね。こちらは120平米の和室になりまして、和室の中では一番広いお部屋になりますね。はい。
And the design is really calm. It's so different than the entrance, the lobby area.
そうですね。やはり下の階が非常に華やかな雰囲気の場所ですので、あえてこちらの宿泊施設はですね、静かで過ごしやすいようなお部屋の内装になってます。なので静かにお過ごしいただけると思います。
Right, right. And the elements are like very traditional in many ways.
そうですね。こちらはもともと和室として使っていたんですけど、やはり年々海外のお客様が増えてきたので、やはり海外の方もお使いになれやすいように、ソファーを置いたりですとか、あとはベッドルームはベッドに変えました。お布団からですね、ベッドに変えて、より海外の方が過ごしやすいようにしていますね。はい。
Well, it's really beautiful. Like, I mean, it feels modern, but you know, the details are still very Japanese and traditional.
そうですね。例えばこちらの絨毯の柄などは日本の伝統的な柄を用いたりですとか、 例えばちょっとこういったお茶が入れているこう入れ物とかも、
this one.
そうですね、こういったのもちょっと組子細工ですね、こういった日本のものを使ってます。
There's an origami here.
そうですね、折り紙もちょっとこうおもてなしですね。こうちょっと鶴の折り紙なんですけど、ちょっと羽がこうね、ちょっとこう。
Oh, I thought it's a
はい
peacock.
そうですね、なんかピコ確かにちょっとそうですね、白鳥のようななんかこう取り入れてますね。
And then Meguro is famous for the sakura trees, right? So we can see from the window when the cherry blossoms are blooming.
そうですね。こちら目黒川の真上になりますので、春の季節は桜がですね、真上からこうずらーっと並んでいる姿がご覧いただけますね。
From this window.
そうですね。なので春がベストシーズンだと思います。
It's really nice. I mean, so if you have a chance to come to Tokyo and stay, I mean, I think Hotel Gajo in Tokyo would be one of the best options. So unfortunately, we have reached the end of the tour today. Do you have any message from the hotel?
はい、今日は一日ありがとうございました。私どもホテルガジョエン東京は館内にですね、だいたい2500点ぐらいのアートワークがございまして、ぜひ日本美のミュージアムホテルというふうに言っております。なのでぜひ皆様ホテルガジョエン東京にお越しいただきまして、こちらの美術とともにですね、アート作品とともにお楽しみいただければと思います。ぜひお越しいただけたら嬉しく思います。
So yeah, that's it. It's a hotel museum. Please comment. What do you think about the hotel below? Don't forget to share. Don't forget to subscribe. And we'll see you soon on our next video. Thank you. See you. Bye.